the fourth beginning in Genesis 12:3. He says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bless those that bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And why is he going to do this? A result clause now follows. So that all the families on earth may be blessed through you, through this seed. So the promise given to Eve is picked up by Shem, is then picked up by Abraham, and Abraham's children, Isaac and Jacob, are going to carry it on. So that we have here not just prediction and fulfillment. Too frequently we've looked upon the Messianic doctrine as if it were just prediction and fulfillment. Oh no, it's more than that. I'd rather refer to it as promise rather than prediction. For you have the word, which is promised, then you have the means by which that word has been maintained, and then the results. So we need three elements here, not just the prediction and the fulfillment, but we need to see that God kept his word alive through history. And how did he keep it alive? Through the Hebrew peoples, God has continued to send through David's line, that one who was born in Bethlehem, that one who was born in Judah, that one who also comes from David's line, that one who is Emmanuel, God with us. He comes from the woman, the seed of the woman, and he has a marvelous victory. Ultimately, he ends up stamping on evil itself, the impersonation and the person of evil. Han-Nahash, the serpent, that old dragon, the devil, he crushes him in that final day. That's the promised victory in Genesis 3:15. And then from a Semite, and then from Abraham, and then finally he says, all the families of the earth. That had been the title used in the Table of Nations 2 chapters before this. 70 nations are listed. They are called the families of the earth. And he said, this word that I'm bringing through this one has relevancy and will be the means of bringing blessing. I think it should be translated as it is in most of the text and was up until 1900 in all versions, that in your seed all the nations of the earth will be blessed through you. So it is a passive form there. No wonder then in Galatians 3:8, when Paul saw this, he said, this is it. The good news, the gospel was preached beforehand to Abraham, saying, you say, what's the gospel? Come on, tell me. Saying, in your seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. That's good news. And best news I can give you at the beginning of this new year.
For those people that are thinking about this, when you talk about narrowing this down, when it's the seed of the woman, you go to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, out of the house of David, and you narrow this line down, you have to ask yourself, how hard would it be for somebody to come on the scene 1,000 years later and have that arranged before they're born? How do you arrange to be born into a geographical area and into a particular tribe, and then you have to have your lineage absolutely correct? A little hard to arrange that in advance. But all of this is mapped out, which is what you've been telling us tonight. For those people on New Year's night that are watching, you've talked about new beginnings. You know, Walter, there's a lot of people that want to make a new beginning. They've made a mess of their life. We've been talking about the Messiah. What can he offer them that is the good news that you've been talking about, that gospel?
The good news and the gospel, it seems to me, is wrapped up in that Genesis 12:3. He said that what I'm going to do through you, Abraham, this one who is coming, the seed of the woman, this Semite, this Hebrew, this one, through that particular one, I'm going to give a gift. I'm going to give hope. I'm going to give deliverance for the whole world, all the families of the earth. And that Paul said, and that also Moses says, and the writer here under inspiration of the Spirit of God says, that's good news. And good news it is indeed.